Greetings and welcome to the Saco City Council meeting, special meeting for Tuesday, September 26, 2023. Call this meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. Let the record reflect that all councilors are present. With that, we'd like to invite you all to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Under item 4 this evening is action items, and we have one item, a receipt of the citizens' grievance petition. Councilor Johnston.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A special city council meeting is being held September 26, 2023, which is this evening, to allow city council to acknowledge receipt of the citizens' grievance petition filed with the city clerk on August 11th, 2023. I move that the Saco City Council acknowledge receipt of the citizens' grievance petition.
Motion's been made by Councilor Johnston. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Hatch. Any discussion? At this moment, I'd like to bring up Freddie Flaherty attorney Stephen Langsdorf.
Thank you, Your Honor, and members of the council. As you know, I was retained for the purpose of advising you with respect to the process for handling this special public meeting that was brought to you by petition. And so I wanted to just bring up a couple of matters for your information and also for the information of the attendees this evening. So the petition was served under section 8.01 entitled General Meetings under your charter. And I just want to briefly read this section to explain exactly what's happening tonight. This was a petition was received by you for a general meeting of the citizens qualified to vote in the city affairs may from time to time be held to consult upon the public good, to advise the representatives, and to request them to take all lawful measures to obtain redress of any grievances according to the rights secured by the people of the state, by the Constitution of this state. Such meetings shall be duly warned as provided by law by the mayor and city council upon the request of 50 qualified voters, and there were more than 50 voters which did that. The city clerk shall act as clerk of such meetings and record the proceedings upon the records. So I just wanted to make it clear that what is happening this evening is not a city council meeting. It is a special provision under the charter which allows for a public meeting of the citizens to be brought forth so that they can air any lawful grievances to you and discuss, in effect, the public good. You as your representatives, I understand, have chosen to be here and will be here this evening as part of the as part of the audience, so that the citizens will have a right to address their concerns to you tonight. I did want to mention a couple other things, I think, for the benefit of the people who are here tonight and for the benefit of the council as well. The specifics of the petitions that were brought in terms of the language themselves is not a binding part of this process this evening. That is a process which allows the meeting to be called. Once the meeting is called, it is up to the citizens themselves to decide what they want to educate you or inform you or petition you, as they have the constitutional right. It's not limited to the items that were brought specifically forth. It's an open discussion by the citizens to talk about what they think is in the public interest and to petition you to redress any grievances that they think that they may have. Just so I think everyone understands, some of the specific items that were brought up relate to a pending planning board proceeding and actions that are being taken before the planning board at this time. I want to make it clear that the city council has no legal role whatsoever in that process, is not allowed by law, either by state law or by charter, to interfere in that process. The participants before that have the right to an unbiased group of appointees who are appointed by you as a council who hear that process. If there are grievances or issues that are raised as a part of that, they should be brought to the planning board itself, and if they're dissatisfied with that or dissatisfied with the results of that proceeding, There are appellate procedures, including a board of appeals, and if that is dissatisfactory, then there's also going to court. All of the issues that are potentially raised with respect to due process, bias, violations of charter, violations of ordinance and process are all proper issues to bring up in that type of a proceeding before the planning board or on appeal. None of those issues can be resolved by the city council. The only role that the council has with respect to the planning board was that you appointed those members, and you do have the right, after investigation and due process and a hearing, if it is shown to you to remove those members for due cause, if it has been shown that any of such member has engaged in misconduct, criminal activity, has violated the code of ethics or conduct for the city, or has otherwise acted in violation of their oaths in office. That should not be done in a way which is intended to interfere with any pending process before the planning board. That would be a violation of due process. The other issue, and some issues may be raised with respect to employees as well, and I must emphasize that by law and by your charter, the city council itself does not play a role with respect to how grievances are handled with respect to employees. That is the sole jurisdiction of the city administrator. So while issues may be brought forward with respect to, and certainly spoken about, with respect to how public officials have engaged in public actions, these should not be personal attacks. It should be respectful, and a most appropriate way of handling issues pertaining to employees would be bring those matters to the city administrator for handling in that way. So I just want to emphasize this evening that this is a matter here for the citizens to speak to you, to actions that you can handle and grievances that you're allowed to deal with in the public good. Everyone should attempt to be respectful this evening and not invade people's personal privacy or engage in personal attacks. So this is what you've asked me to do, to bring this information forward to you, and this is my interpretation of your charter and state law and my best advice for the evening. I'm happy to answer any questions that the council may have.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the council? With no questions. Thank you very
sir.
much. Any further discussion? A roll call vote. Councilor Archer?
Aye.
Councilor Purdy?
Yes.
Councilor Gunn?
Yes.
Councilor Berman?
Yes.
Councilor Hatch?
Yes.
Councilor McPhail?
Yes.
Councilor Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0 to accept receipt of citizens' grievance petition. And with that, we'll move to item 5. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Councilor Hatch, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Councilor Berman. Any discussion? Roll call to adjourn. Councilor Archer?
Aye.
Councilor Purdy?
Yes.
Councilor Gunn?
Yes.
Councilor Berman?
Yes.
Councilor Hatch?
Yes.
Councilor McPhail?
Yes.
Councilor Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0 to adjourn at 6:38. We will have a 5-minute recess while the parties and principals involved manage the tables and rework the room for their own handouts of packets and so forth. So please give yourself 5 minutes.